A good governance with good intentions is the hallmark of a good government, while implementation with integrity should be the core passion. Hello, and thank you for joining me on a new episode of the Women Series. One here we capture developments and stories that impact women. My name is Ayomide Oguntoye. Now, we're aware that the month of May is a critical time in the political atmosphere of the nation, as political parties are currently conducting their primaries, which of course is going to lead to the 2023 elections. But beyond the political activities, how about we talk about governance? And when I mean governance, I mean good governance. Speaking today with with a politician and a gender specialist. Today I have with me HAUWA EL-YAKUB, a politician and a gender specialist, joining me from Kano State. Hello, HAUWA. How are you doing today? And how is Kano State?
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm doing well, and Kano State is doing very well. Thank you.
You're welcome. So today we're talking about the place for politicking and the governance for 2023 political aspirants. We started off this conversation some weeks back, and the previous guest we had made some statements, which of course I want to reiterate and bring back. Now, according to her, she stated that for women, our pathway to leadership lies in the power of our PVC and not necessarily raising the 100 million naira in quotes. Now, do you agree with the statement, or could you further share your thoughts on the statement?
That's a very valid point. PVC is very important when we talk about democracy, politics, and elections. But if you're talking about leadership, it's an entirely a different thing, because that 100 million naira is a requirement for political parties, some political parties in Nigeria. And then definitely if women want to be part of that, that is the leadership position, then definitely I think that is it's key. So choosing a leader in Nigeria requires that you have a voter's card. So that is also equally very important for women. Most of the time, the people that you see lining up to elect or vote are women and youth. So it's very obvious that we play a very key role when in determining who becomes a leader in Nigeria. I think for women, we need to create that awareness that apart from being a card holder or a voter's card holder, we have the power to actually elect or put a person in the position of power. And so we keep wondering, why is it that women are not already in these positions of power if they are the ones that are voting? So research has shown that a lot of women think they cannot be able to endure the stress and the rigor of the political space in Nigeria. And especially now you're talking about 100 million naira. Even with the men, how many people have 100 million naira? If we are talking about civil servants, it's almost impossible if you're not taking from the pockets of government for you to have 100 million naira. And this is money we're talking about, just to buy a form. It is not money that you're going to use to do your campaigns, to take care of the electioneering process. So you wonder, really, where do they get the money from? And if they're getting money from dubious sources, how would we ever have good governance in Nigeria? Right. You're talking about credibility. You're talking about, integrity. You cannot have credibility and integrity if you are stealing from from government, or you're taking from illegal sources. You understand? So I see, there's a lot of discussion regarding money politics, and I always try to educate people on the fact that yes, money is needed when it comes to politics, but then there is a constitutional laws surrounding how you get the money and how the money is used during elections. But in Nigeria, recently the money was just increased. So this is actually a big deterrent to people that have credibility, to people that have the integrity if they do not have the money to contest for these positions. You understand? So I think it's something that women should talk about. And even, not just women, every concerned citizen of Nigeria should be worried about the money that is used for electioneering processes, because it determines who becomes who comes into power, who takes the seat that is going to drive the nation forward. It means that even if you're a criminal, you kidnap somebody, he gives you 100 million naira. If they don't know it is, ransom money, it is okay. You can just be put in that position. We have to revisit these things. So for me, PVC is a definite yes. 100 million naira, no, 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 but you must have the means to be able to compete in the stiff competition out there if you want to be in the position of power, whether you're a woman, whether you're a man. But the most important thing is for us to keep the conversation going.
Right.
What type of money do we need?
Yeah, and of course,
And how.
yeah, that's what we are doing today. And speaking further on money politics, which of course is quite interesting in this phase of politicking. Now, there is the concept of politicking, which of course is what is playing out now. And there is also some level of tokenism and of course money politics here and there, what you mentioned. And now, do you think that this give, I mean, you've spoken about it to an extent, but do you think that this give women a fair playing field to contest against their male counterparts?
Well, let me tell you the truth. From my own experience and the research that I have done, being a political scientist, uh, the major issues we're facing in Nigeria is, we have not just gender, difference and, the challenges that the women face in politics. But the main issues we're facing now is the money politics, which obviously, if you do not have the money, you cannot contest. And then secondly, a lot of people and even are in political parties without even knowing the manifestos of these political parties. They don't know what the parties even want to deliver. So for them, it is about, using whatever means to get these positions. And that includes to steal ballot boxes. You understand? So for women, what I have observed and on my own experience is that, women are not ready to do any political thuggery, because most of us are out there, or we are out to make a difference. We want the political thuggeries to stop. So how are we going to use our own children, give them drugs and tell them to go and maim people and kill them because we want these positions? Definitely not. You understand? So this is one of the challenges that we are facing. It's not about money. Some of us have the money to contest for elected positions, but what we have to do to get these positions is what we will not do. What we refuse to do. And I don't think we should in any way. You understand? So it's all about having the strength and also the capacity to create the necessary awareness for the voters to understand that the key to of this country is with your PVC.
Right.
If you are determined that you want change, then it is up to you to make sure that you are ready to go and vote out those people that have already destroyed this country. Because sometimes I tell myself, Nigeria is once upon a country. Because what we have now is almost a failed state. And, the challenge is there. I am a woman and I am determined. I've always been an activist. Nothing is going to deter me from doing what I believe is best for my country. And it's not about my gender. If I'm determined to excel in whatever field of industry I belong to, then there is no reason why all these problems should deter me. Because for us to succumb them, for us to overcome these problems that we have to be determined and more or less be ready to give up our lives to make sure, we secure the future of this country for our children and our great-grandchildren. This is the politicking, tokenism, whatever it is. There's so many terms out there being used when it comes to Nigeria's politics. But what I tell women and men of integrity, patriots that love this country, is that we should not give up. And it was also our fault because for a long time, people that compete can do it. People that are credible have been on the like the backbenchers, sitting on the wall, watching the country deteriorate every single second. You understand? So when we are talking about good governance, who is going to govern us? You cannot expect one that has that does not care about your children, that is using your children as political thugs, somebody that is looting your treasury to come and do anything better than what he is doing right now. So this is my take on this. You understand? So for women, we just have to be ready. The same way you want to defend your home is the same way you would want to defend your state. We're not you looking beyond, our ethnic groups. Nigeria's challenges is beyond our ethnic group. So that this is also compounding our problem. If you see anybody that is competent and has the heart to take Nigeria forward, forget about the tribe he comes from. Choose the person that is going to take you out of the problems that you have. The advanced democracies we're talking about, they have already, they're done with ethnic politics. You understand? So I try to make people understand the democracy that we have in Nigeria is just in theory, but not in practice. Because when you're talking about democracy, there are a lot of things that you have to put into consideration. You understand? And even the democracy that we're practicing now, what we need is people that would look at it critically and take what is good for us and say no to what is not good for us, because the of democracy that we are practicing that is not working for us. Who says that we have to be slave to this democracy written by our people that do not know our problems? They don't know our internal issues. Even if they do, that is not a priority to them. So what we are looking for in the legislature is people that understand the system, that know the history, that have what it takes to coordinate us, to put us in one box and say, okay, so this is the problem that we have, and this is how we are going to plan the future of our country. But what I see now is a haphazard work. People are just coming into power because they feel they have the 100 million naira, and they have the number of political thugs that can snatch boxes for them, and then woof, they are in power. And if it is us women that will take the country forward, why not?
Right.
Why not? So we use our voters card to vote in women that can make the changes we need.
At the end of the day, what we hope to see in the forthcoming elections is, of course, a good governance and an overhauling of the Nigerian political system, if possible. I mean, we're hoping that this will be possible. But on the other hand, if you look at it, citizens are torn apart as to whom to make their candidates and why they should vote for them. I mean, who they should vote. But the big question at the end of the day is, what change can aspirants effect?
I don't see any change that are going to affect unless, better and credible people are elected into it. Unless we have God's intervention and, we tell people to get up and not give up. A lot of people don't want to vote again. A lot of people don't even want to contest again because of the experience they have had in 2019. How many of us that contested then and now, that are ready to go back now? You understand? Because it is going to be business as usual. They are capitalizing on the poverty of people. They are keen into the poverty of people. People don't know better because they have made them poor. They have refused to educate them. And that is what is happening. And what we have, we don't have opposition in Nigeria. What we have is enmity. We don't have constructive discussions around and surrounding the policies that are supposed to be good for this country. It is all about our selfish interests. Where is we have the EFCC. What happened with the EFCC boss? We are already recruiting the criminals back into the system, and we're saying that the ones that are going to take care and tackle the problems. Nigeria's problems is beyond one person. We need to strengthen the institutions, and we need to be honest to ourselves and say that if I'm a corrupt person in my office, I need to I need to correct what I am doing. It is an individual thing. Every Nigerian must reflect inwardly and see what it is that he is doing that is harming the country. Because at the end of the day, we are all in this together.
Right.
If it's going to, if the country is going to go down, it's going to go down with all of us. Even those that think that they have a plan B to escape, these countries eventually will bring you back to your country because they cannot take what we are doing in this country for ourselves. So it is not rocket science. I tell Nigerians, if we're going to have one Nigeria, let's forget about our differences. Let us look at the problems that we have. And one of the greatest problems that we have is good governance. And for us to have good governance, we have to have people that are patriotic, people that are honest, people to a large extent that are competent enough to even compete with the global world. But what we have out there, is that people that have a chip on their shoulder. When you talk about the problems of Nigeria, if they're in government, they don't want you to talk about it. You understand? And a lot of us are afraid and scared because we all know that they will use the machinery of government to shut you up. It's not just about using political thugs. What about the police that they use? What about those, the legal system that is in a mess? You understand? So for me, the passion I have is that every individual in Nigeria should make it a duty upon himself to say that I'm going to correct my wrong. And I'm going to make sure that my neighbor corrects his wrong. We are all each other's keepers. This discussion is just on TV.
We need to
How many of us have access to having the internet? How many of us in Nigeria have the privilege of having internet at their disposal to be able to even listen to us? Let's be frank to ourselves. We cannot keep telling ourselves that we're okay. We are not okay. Cancer is eating up Nigeria, and eventually we will die if we don't do something about it. And that is why we are out, men and women of integrity. Nobody is going to deter us and tell us we should go back because we are women. We are not going back because we have to secure the future of this country because of our children. I gave birth to 5 children, and I did not do it for fun. I am not going to watch people that have no conscience, you understand, to destroy the future of my children without me trying to stop them. So this is my take on this. I'm a political scientist, and I'm a politician, and I'm an activist, and I'm a Nigerian before anything else. And I am going to stand for this country up until the time that my time is up in this world. But no more going back as far as I am concerned until Nigeria gets better and we see it at its best. And that is the way it is.
I love your passion, and I love the way you speak about it. We hope to see these actions in play and hope for a better Nigeria at the end of the day. Thank you very much, Awa, for having this conversation with me. I hope that we begin to see that change effect everywhere as individuals, as you mentioned, and also as a nation generally, so that we then begin to see the good governance that we want to see in place. Thank you for having this conversation with me, Hawa.
And thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. And on that note, we end today's conversation on the Women series. I hope you learned one thing or the other, that it takes a nation, it takes everybody, it takes everyone to play their part in making the nation what it should be. If you'd like to reach out to me, kindly send a mail to ayomide.oguntoye@proshare.co. If you'd like to read more on our personal finance stories and watch our videos, log on to www.proshare.co. Then further videos /WebTV. Follow us on all our social media platforms showing on the screen as well. And until next time, hopefully we get to speak more on politics as the things unveil in the nation towards the 2023 elections. And until then, thank you for watching.